I'm not sure about the secret as to why they come out. I think that there is a certain honesty in what I do. This is real to me. I take it seriously.
When people think of Judge Judy, they picture the ultimate reality TV icon who turned the courtroom into the greatest show on earth. To the world, she was the untouchable queen of the courtroom. But behind the bench, Judy was fighting a silent war against colleagues and celebrities who viewed her massive success as a threat to be neutralized. Some of these clashes played out in the headlines. Others festered quietly in the corridors of daytime TV. Her demand for loyalty ran so deep that it turned friends into enemies and created a blacklist of stars she refuses to forgive. Stay tuned, because the judge is finally dropping the hammer, and the stories you're about to hear will change the way you see her forever. Petri Hawkins-Byrd, the loyal bailiff she erased after 25 years. Petri Hawkins-Byrd was the victim of a cold-blooded public evisceration that stunned the world, proving that for Judge Judy, business always comes before friendship. For 25 years, Byrd was the stoic protector, standing just inches from her shoulder. To the world, they were a package deal, the undeniable dynamic duo of daytime TV. But behind the scenes, a venomous reality simmered. Judy didn't view him as a partner. She viewed him as furniture, a prop that had started to get too much attention. When Sheilin launched her massive new empire, Judy Justice, she saw an opportunity to prove she didn't need him. She didn't just fire him. She weaponized her silence to humiliate him. No farewell dinner, no conversation, not even a text. She preached personal responsibility to millions for decades, yet when it came to the man who stood by her side, she offered none. Byrd found out he was replaced by a younger bailiff through the press, forced to read about his own replacement like a stranger. When Byrd finally broke his silence, he exposed the friendship as a total lie. She didn't even offer him the dignity of an audition, but the knife in the back came when he confronted her. Her response was cold and insulting. She looked the man who guarded her life in the eye and claimed she couldn't afford him. Imagine standing in front of the person you protected for 25 years, waiting for a hug and getting a handshake instead. The air in the room didn't just get cold, it froze. Byrd described feeling a physical punch to the gut, the kind of betrayal that leaves you breathless. She didn't blink. She didn't stutter. She delivered the line with the same flat, emotionless efficiency she used to sentence criminals. To fans, this was the ultimate hypocrisy. We are talking about a star worth nearly $500 million haggling over the price of loyalty. That excuse shattered the moment Byrd revealed she never even asked his price. She didn't want to negotiate. She wanted him gone. It was a power move to assert that she was the only talent that mattered. Byrd wasn't just let go. He was discarded like a used tissue to send a message. In her courtroom, loyalty means nothing. The image of Byrd waiting for a phone that never rang isn't a tragedy. It is the scorched earth legacy of a tyrant who would rather destroy a friend than share the spotlight. Justin Bieber, the superstar who was terrified to leave his house. Justin Bieber reveals the sheer power of Judge Judy's presence. She is the only woman on earth who can make a global pop superstar pay for extra security just to avoid making eye contact with her. The context for this feud is almost comical in its absurdity. The bad boy pop singer and the terrifying television judge were once neighbors in an exclusive, high-security gated community in Beverly Hills. It should have been a peaceful existence, but Bieber was in the middle of his notorious rebellious phase, racing Ferraris and getting arrested for DUIs, behavior that did not sit well with the matriarch of law and order living next door. The beef began publicly when Judy, never one to bite her tongue, humiliated Bieber in the press. She didn't hold back, calling him foolish and stating he was doing a marvelous job of making a fool out of himself in front of the entire world. For a young star surrounded by yes men, this public dressing down from America's strict grandmother was a shock to the system. But the true extent of his fear was revealed by Judy herself in a gloating interview that went viral instantly. She revealed that Bieber was so petrified of crossing her path that he took extreme measures to ensure they never met. According to Judy, the singer paid his security team to track her specific schedule, instructing them to alert him whenever she was outside so he could stay hidden indoors. He essentially became a prisoner in his own mansion, terrified that if he stepped outside at the wrong moment, he would find himself on the receiving end of a real-life Judy verbal beatdown. Picture the scene: one of the most famous singers on the planet, peering through expensive silk curtains like a fugitive, waiting for the all-clear from his bodyguards. The silence of his massive mansion amplified the fear, turning a sunny Beverly Hills morning into a psychological game of cat and mouse, where the cat was a 5'2" judge. Judy laughed as she recounted the story, saying, "He's scared to death of me," and confirming that even with millions of dollars and millions of fans, Justin Bieber was just another young man afraid of getting scolded by the toughest woman in the neighborhood. Prince Harry, the royal she called spoiled and ungrateful. Prince Harry learned the hard way that Judge Judy's jurisdiction has no borders. She is willing to put a member of the British royal family in his place if she feels he is disrespecting the core values of family and gratitude. Following the release of Harry's bombshell memoir, Spare, the world was divided, but Judge Judy was not. When asked to weigh in on his relentless public attacks against his father and brother, Judy didn't offer a polite celebrity soundbite. She delivered a verdict that cut straight to the bone. The context is crucial. Judy's entire brand is built on personal responsibility and respect for those who raised you. So, when she saw a prince making millions by trashing his own family, she viewed it as the ultimate character flaw. She went on Good Morning Britain and delivered a brutal assessment that resonated deeply with the 50-plus demographic. She labeled his behavior as disingenuous, unseemly, and accused him of biting the hand that fed you, stripping away the royal glamour to reveal what she saw as a tantrum. But the viral moment that truly set the internet on fire was when she personalized the attack. She looked into the camera and stated flatly that if Harry were her grandchild, she would be furious. She didn't mince words, calling him selfish, spoiled, and ungrateful. It was a grandmother's ultimate scolding, broadcast to millions. She dismantled his narrative of victimhood in seconds, effectively telling the Duke of Sussex that in her courtroom, airing dirty laundry for a paycheck isn't bravery, it's a disgrace. It was a reminder that no amount of royal blood can protect you from Judge Judy when she decides you've been acting like a brat. The Kardashians, the family she refused to even acknowledge. The Kardashian dynasty represents a fundamental clash of civilizations that proves Judy refuses to bow to the new gods of celebrity. On one side, you have Judy, a woman who clawed her way through law school in the 1960s, spent decades grinding in the gritty trenches of New York family court, and built her empire on the bedrock of hard work and talent. On the other side, you have the Kardashians, a family who built a billion-dollar empire on selfies, leaked tapes, and the sheer ability to be famous for being famous. To Judy, they aren't just celebrities. They represent the erosion of the values she holds dear, and she has made it crystal clear that she views their rise to stardom as a symptom of a narcissistic culture. She has openly disdained the family's talentless approach to fame, viewing them as the polar opposite of the meritocracy she believes in. But the viral moment that cemented this Cold War happened when a TMZ reporter tried to play matchmaker. The reporter excitedly asked Judy if she would ever welcome the Kardashians onto her show, or perhaps join them for a celebrity game of Family Feud. In Hollywood, the polite answer is always, never say never, or, that would be fun. Judy doesn't do polite. She laughed directly in the reporter's face, a laugh filled with genuine absurdity before delivering a cold, hard verdict that froze the conversation. No, actually not. It wasn't just a rejection. It was a refusal to even validate their existence in her orbit. By refusing to associate her brand with theirs, she was drawing a line in the sand, effectively stating that while the Kardashians might rule Instagram, they have no place in her courtroom. It was a masterclass in throwing shade without raising your voice, proving that Judge Judy is the only person in Hollywood who isn't afraid to tell the most powerful family in reality TV that they simply aren't good enough to share her screen. Joseph Wapner, the legend who called her a disgrace. Joseph Wapner engaged in a bitter personal war with Judy that shattered the illusion of judicial camaraderie between the king and queen of courtroom television. Before Judy ever banged a gavel on TV, Judge Wapner was the original icon, the man who invented the genre with the People's Court in the 1980s. He was the grandfather of the format, widely respected for his calm, dignified, and traditional approach to the law. But when Judy arrived on the scene in the 90s, she didn't just join the genre, she revolutionized it. She was loud, abrasive, impatient, and wildly entertaining. She usurped his throne, becoming a global phenomenon that eclipsed his legacy, and Wapner reportedly hated every second of it. The rivalry turned ugly when Wapner decided to break the unwritten rule of professional courtesy. He publicly attacked her, not just as a host, but as a judge. In a scathing interview, he loathed her style, calling her rude, arrogant, and labeling her a disgrace to the profession. He argued that her yelling and belittling of litigants degraded the entire legal system, turning justice into a circus for ratings. It was a brutal disavowal from the man who started it all, a public declaration that she was doing it wrong. But if Wapner thought his seniority would silence her, he was sorely mistaken. Judy fired back with a statement that was venomous in its politeness. She didn't scream. She dismantled him with a smile. She famously stated, "I don't know where or by whom Judge Wapner was raised, but my parents taught me when you don't have something nice to say about someone, say nothing." It was the ultimate bless your heart insult. By questioning his upbringing and manners, she flipped the script, painting the dignified judge as the rude one. She effectively dismissed the legend as a bitter old man yelling at clouds, proving that while Wapner may have built the house, Judy owned it. Les Moonves, the CEO. She silenced with one envelope. Les Moonves experienced the absolute peak of Judge Judy's power, a moment where she brought the most powerful man in television to his knees, without uttering a single word of negotiation. To understand the stakes, you have to know the ritual. In Hollywood, contract renewals are a tedious dance of agents, lawyers, bluffs, and counteroffers that can drag on for months. But Judy doesn't dance. Every 3 years, she would meet Les Moonves, the CEO of CBS and the titan of the industry, for a private dinner at the exclusive grill on the alley in Beverly Hills to discuss her future. For any other star, this dinner would be a nerve-wracking audition to prove their worth. For Judy, it was a hostage situation where she held all the cards. She hated the game of negotiation and refused to let the executives think they had any power over her. The viral legend of their final negotiation is a masterclass in dominance. As the dinner began, Moonves prepared to start the haggling. Instead, Judy stopped him cold. She reached into her purse and slid a sealed envelope across the white tablecloth. The restaurant was likely buzzing with the low hum of million-dollar deals, but at that table, time stopped. The sound of that envelope sliding across the linen was louder than a gavel strike. Moonves, a man accustomed to people trembling in his presence, suddenly realized the dynamic had shifted. He wasn't the predator anymore. He was the prey. She looked the most powerful man in TV dead in the eye and delivered the line that has become Hollywood folklore. "Open it. This is not a negotiation." Inside the envelope was a single card with her salary demand written on it, a non-negotiable figure rumored to be $47 million a year. She told him, "This is the price. If you pay it, I stay. If you don't, I leave. Don't counteroffer." Moonves, a man who ate agents for breakfast, didn't argue. He opened the envelope, saw the number, and simply said, "Okay." The dinner ended, the deal was done, and Judy walked out richer than any host in history. It proved that in a town full of fakes, Judge Judy is the only one real enough to bet her entire career on a single piece of paper. And win. Judge Judy has spent 25 years convincing the world she is a simple servant of the law. But the stories from Petri Hawkins-Byrd, Justin Bieber, and Les Moonves reveal a different woman entirely. They reveal a brilliant, ruthless operator who demands loyalty, destroys her enemies with a smile, and wields power like a weapon. Is she the greatest businesswoman who ever lived, or is she simply the coldest heart in Hollywood? Let us know your verdict in the comments below. If you enjoyed exposing the secrets of the courtroom, like this video and subscribe. We have more untold stories from the set coming very soon.